Our leader. Oh,
Leader's there.
he's already left.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Glidden, and I am the Vice President of the Minneapolis City Council. I also bring today greetings from our Council President, Barbara Johnson, who wishes she could be here but has a family obligation. And we are really pleased to be able to do an official recognition from the Minneapolis City Council and the Mayor of Public Service Recognition Week. So we really have, I think, just a tremendous breadth of services in the city of Minneapolis, and so many wonderful employees that have given their expertise, given of their time, given of their dedication to make our city run very well. And we are so happy to have your service. We are so thankful to have your service. I'm sure every single one of us up here has been in a special circumstance where they have been able to see the breadth of dedication and breadth of services of our employees. I thought I might just mention too, it's interesting, it's a crossover recognition perhaps. It's also Municipal Clerks Week. And we had a note from our city clerk, Casey Carl, earlier this week that this is Municipal Clerks Week, and he wanted us to be aware that the municipal clerk is actually one of the oldest public servants that has served local jurisdictions going back to biblical times even. So I just thought that was an interesting thing to note as we get started. As you can see, we have a great array of employees that I think once we get to introductions, we will see how this represents the breadth of our enterprise. And so I'd like to read our resolution, which is by all council members of Public Service Recognition Week. Whereas public employees at federal, state, and local levels provide essential services which make America and her communities stronger, safer places to live, work, and raise families, protect and serve the welfare of her citizens, and advance the common good. And whereas America's citizens benefit from the vast array of public goods and services provided each day by public employees committed to the tenets of good government and public administration. And whereas public service is a noble calling, one that enables the community to benefit from the gifts and talents of the men and women who become public servants as a means of contributing to the present and future well-being of their communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and city council do hereby proclaim the week of May 12th through 16th of 2014 as Public Service Recognition Week in the city of Minneapolis, a time to recognize and honor the many contributions of federal, state, and local government employees to this great nation and to its many communities. And be it further resolved that the employees of the city of Minneapolis are especially commended and offered the sincere gratitude, thanks, and appreciation of Mayor Hodges and the members of the City Council on behalf of the people of this great community for their daily efforts to preserve, protect, and promote the health, safety, and welfare of residents, businesses, and visitors of the city of Minneapolis. So thank you very much. And I would like to turn things over now to Mr. Chuck Bernardi. And I think he is going to share with us a few words, and then we're going to introduce who's with us today.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Glidden. My name is Chuck Bernardi from the Human Resources Department, and why is this group of employees up here this morning? We are working on an enterprise recognition program that we will be piloting beginning July 1st. Casey Carl suggested that we come here today to thank the council for the resolution this morning and also to accept this honorary resolution on behalf of all city employees. So I'm honored to do that today. The Enterprise Recognition Program that we're working on will be rolled out, as I said, on July 1st. This is in response to our last 2011-2012 employee engagement survey, where employees felt that they were not always being appreciated by the city, and so we took it upon ourselves, this group of employees, to try to develop something that is meaningful for all city employees. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to turn it over to my esteemed colleagues.
My name is Alyssa Brown. I'm with the Assessor's Office, and currently I'm a downtown commercial assessor.
My name is Jennifer Gabbard. I'm also a member of the HR department. I'm an HR generalist.
I'm Janelle Harris. I'm a member of the 911 department, operations manager.
Hi, my name is Randy Mickelson. I'm with the Information Technology Department. My team supports all software used by the HR and Finance and Property Services departments.
Hello, my name is Brian Tyner, and I'm a battalion chief with the Minneapolis Fire Department.
Hi, I'm Julie Sikora, analyst in the police department, support staff to Chief Harteau and Assistant Chief Clark.
Hi, my name is Jolanda Sears, also with the Human Resource Department, involved in employee engagement, employee performance, and training.
Chris Carlson with Finance and Property Services, and I'm a supervisor of building services.
So I just want to say thank you again, and to all of the employees in the city of Minneapolis. You make us so proud to be connected to the city. You've really taught me so much about what it means to be a public servant. And I just want to say a thank you to all of you. And thank you to all of you who took your time to be a part of this presentation today. And I'm going to invite my colleagues. Let's give a hand to our public service employees. Thank you so very much. Good morning. I would like to call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the Minneapolis City Council, and I'm going to invite the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Here.
Kano.
Here.
Reich.
Here.
Bender.
Here.
Yang.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Quincy.
Here.
Warsami.
Present.
Goodman.
Present.
Fry.
Here.
Palmisano.
Here.
President Johnson is absent. Vice President Lilligren. I'm sorry, Vice President Glidden.
Here.
There are 12 members present.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to again just acknowledge that Council President Johnson wishes she could be here, but is with some family obligations today. So the first item on the agenda is adoption of the agenda, and I believe we do have a motion to to amend the agenda by Councilmember Reich. And
No,
excuse
it's
me,
the other guy.
Councilmember Quincy, excuse me.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I'd like to move that we amend the agenda to discuss the resolution relating to the clean zone around Target Field. I don't know where if that would appear on the agenda in under new business or under resolutions, but.
Mr.
Madam
Clerk?
Vice President, under the order of resolutions.
All right. So that motion has been made and seconded. All in approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, and that item, the agenda is amended, and then I would take a motion to move the amended agenda in a second.
Move adoption?
The agenda has been moved and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon. Kano. Reich. Bender. Yang. Johnson. Quincy.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Goodman. Fry. Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Glidden.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
Next is acceptance of the minutes of the adjourned session held April 24th, 2014, and the regular meeting and adjourned session of April 25th, 2014.
Move acceptance.
It's been moved and seconded. All in approval, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that item is adopted. Next, we have the referral of petitions and communications and reports of the city officers to proper committees and departments.
A move referral.
It's been moved and seconded. All in approval, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that item is adopted as well. Next, we have the Committee of the Whole agenda, and I'm going to turn to Councilmember Andrew Johnson, who is the chair of the subcommittee of Committee of the Whole, for that report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had one item, the single employer self-insured medical plan, passage of a resolution adopting a transition plan for the city to implement single employer employee benefit plans effective January 1st, 2015, and single employer self-insurance medical plans commencing as early as January 1st, 2015.
And you're going to move that item?
I will move that item. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Johnson. The item has been moved. Do I have a second? I don't need a second? Okay. Thank you. And I apologize if I am making any mistakes. I'm looking carefully at the clerk to make sure that I move our agenda along properly. So that item has been moved. Discussion? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich. Bender.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Quincy.
Aye.
Warsami. Goodman.
Aye.
Fry.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Glidden.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
Thank you. Next, we have Community Development and Regulatory Services. With that committee's chair, Councilmember Goodman.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Community Development and Regulatory Services Committee is bringing forward 18 items for approval this morning. I'm just going to note some of the more notable items, including item number 1, which is a land sale of the Hollywood Theater to Andrew Volna for redevelopment. I'll note we've owned this property since the 1980s, so this is a major step forward, and I know there's a lot of excitement about it. I'll also note item number 11, which is approving our 2015 low-income housing tax credit procedural manual and allocation plan. Very technical thing, but this is what we are using to move forward with our low-income housing tax credit allocation for the following year. I'll also note item 14 is our Great Streets Business District support contracts. $800,000 in requests for about $400,000 we were able to allocate. And finally, item 16 is the 2014 consolidated plan, along with the comments. This authorizes the submission of the plan to HUD. With that, I'll move items 1 through 18 for approval this morning.
Thank you for that. Councilmember Goodman has moved items 1 through 18 from the Community Development and Regulatory Services agenda. Anyone want to take an item off? Discussion? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Quincy.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Fry.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Glidden.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
Thank you. Next, we have the Health, Environment, and Community Engagement agenda. With that committee's chair, Councilmember Gordon.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice President. The Health, Environment, and Community Engagement Committee is bringing forward 3 items for approval today. The first is approving a set of appointments to the Minneapolis Public Health Advisory Committee for 2-year terms to expire December 31st, 2015. The names are Julie Ring from 1st Ward, Bertie Cunningham from 11th Ward, Autumn Chemlisky from 12th Ward, Jennifer Pelletier as the U of M School of Public Health representative, Dan Brady, a member at large, Abdullahi Sheikh from the 8th Ward, and Sarah Noor from the 2nd Ward. The second item is passage of a resolution supporting the pursuit of national accreditation status for the Minneapolis Health Department, so we'll move forward with that big project. And the third and final item is to authorize an amendment to our contract with Hennepin County to accept an additional $320,000 from a federal teen pregnancy prevention grant. so that we can support that work. I will move all three items forward for approval.
Thank you. Councilmember Gordon has moved all three items from the Health, Environment, and Community Engagement agenda. Anyone want to discuss any item? Take anything off? Seeing no discussion requested, clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Quincy.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Fry.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Glidden.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
Thank you. Next, we have the Intergovernmental Relations Committee. With that committee's vice chair, Councilmember Kano.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And today we have one item for approval, and that is the MSP Noise Oversight Committee. It's to approve the appointment of Lauren Olson as the city's alternate representative for a term of July 16th, 2015 to June 26th, 2015. And I will move this item.
And thank you very much. Anyone want any discussion on that item? Councilmember Yang.
Thank you, Madam Chair. When I look at that, it seems like the dates are off.
Thank you. And I'll just turn to
Madam Vice President, we have a Scrivener error. The term should be July 16, 2014 to June 26, 2015.
thank you. And so I'm understanding the clerk can just go ahead and make that technical correction. Thank you very much, Councilmember Yang. And with that, the clerk will call the roll, please.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Quincy.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Fry.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Glidden. There are 12 ayes.
Thank you. Next, we have Public Safety, Civil Rights, and Emergency Management. With that committee's chair, Councilmember Yang.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have three items. The first item is to approve staff directions or approve directions to staff for the following. One, conduct a study session by the end of June 2014 that will include discussions of key policy decisions and a community stakeholder engagement plan related to the racial equity framework, as well as a timeline for completion of the Equitable Solutions Equity Assessment Toolkit. Two, report on the continued development of the racial equity framework, equitable solutions for One Minneapolis to the Public Safety, Civil Rights, and Emergency Management Committee by July 15, 2014, and to the Committee of the Whole by July 23, 2014. Three, analyze budget impacts for implementation of the racial equity framework and ensure budget requests for 2015 are forwarded to the mayor and the city council for inclusion in the 2015 budget process. Four, create a racial equity policy work group convened and chaired by Mayor Hodges to assist in ongoing oversight of the development of the racial equity framework, the racial equity action plan, and additional related initiatives, as well as to develop tools appropriate for use by the city council and mayor to view policy decisions through a racial equity lens. The work group will include Council Vice President Glidden, Council Members Gordon and Yang, as well as department heads identified in Resolution 2012 R456 and other staff from Equitable Solutions staff team as appropriate, including the city clerk. A report from this group will be included with the presentations to Public Safety and CAL committees as previously designated. And five, refer CAL the matter of the updated affirmative action plan. That was a mouthful. The second item is to authorize application to receive up to $1 million over a 3-year period for implementation by the Minneapolis PD of a community strategies program to focus on concentrated areas of crime in North Minneapolis. Third item is to authorize a joint powers agreement to be signed by participating city, county, and state agencies willing to provide public safety and security services to the city of Minneapolis for a period from July 11th, 2014 to July 16th. And with that, I will move all three items.
Thank you, Councilmember Yang. And I will ask if anyone wants to take something off or discuss. Councilmember Gordon, which item?
The first item.
Is this a comment or a?
It's a comment and a possible amendment.
Okay. and Casey Carl's trying to say something to me. That's why I'm looking this way.
Madam Vice President, before we get into a potential amendment, perhaps the comment would elaborate for us the timing on an amendment proposal.
All right, thank you. So thanks for that advice. And Councilmember Gordon, why don't you go ahead?
Certainly, and I can address the potential amendment as well. I did want to note that I think it's a significant step. There was in terms of all the actions that we're approving with item number 1. I think it's really important now that the council takes a careful look and a more active role in this racial equity work, which I know that we have been doing, and we've already had just this week a couple deeper discussions. The item that I was interested in discussing an amendment to was item 1D about the policy work group. The council is actually approving 3 council members to sit on it, and a 4th council member has expressed an interest. I've discussed this with the mayor, also the council vice president, also chair of public safety, of adding Councilmember Cano to the list. And there was a sense from the mayor that if the council was taking an action and naming at their meeting and approving the appointees, that if they wanted to approve another member to the committee, this would be a good time to do it. So that was my suggestion. If this seems like a bad time to the majority of my colleagues, or like this is a bigger deal, I'm happy to wait and do it. If we feel like we need a written motion because of our rules, I have one prepared.
Okay, so, okay, thank you for that. And since we have some rules about written amendments, I just want to turn again to Mr. Carl on what we would need to do to consider this amendment.
Madam Vice President, the rules would require any amendment to be put in writing in front of the council. If there's no objections, we could proceed without it, but it's always best to have in writing in front of the council what is being proposed.
Nothing had been passed out, so that's why I was unclear if something was in writing. So we actually do have this. Councilmember Goodman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Councilmember Gordon, will you yield for a question?
Certainly.
Did you check to see if there were any quorum issues with the council members who have been noted?
Yes, and that was going to be one of my main talking points if I made the motion. There is no issue with quorum with these 4 council members.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so I think what we should do is let's go ahead and have Councilmember Yang has moved all 3 items, right? And so we can go ahead and take this. I think the easiest would be to take this proposed amendment to item number 1, and Councilmember Gordon has passed out his motion, so I will take that as a motion to amend to add Councilmember Cano and ask if there is discussion. Seeing none, I think on an amendment we can just take a voice vote. All in approval, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion is amended, and so then I will move all 3 items, including item number 1 as amended, Councilmember Yang's motion is before us with item number 1 as amended. And any further, Councilmember Yang.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to speak really quickly, if I can, to the first item, which is the equitable solutions for One Minneapolis. We have all these different names for it, the racial equity framework, the racial equity toolkit, and I just want to encourage all of my colleagues to review it. It's, I don't want to say it's a rather large document, but I mean, it's several sets of, I guess, tools that come together as one toolkit. I really want you all to take a look at it to see what you think. I've expressed my views on this already, but I mean, with these staff directions, it was maybe our way of giving a timeline to this process to get done, but also just pushing for more time so that our colleagues here on the council can have a good chance to digest the information, to really think about, how they see this moving forward. And so I really encourage you all to, spend some time to look at the whole thing, to really give some thought into this, so that if we move forward with something like this, that we all can agree to it instead of just, a toolkit that won't be used. So that's it.
All right, thank you for that. And I'm not seeing any further discussion. Okay, and so I think I should have taken off item number 1, I'll just say, and so I apologize to my colleagues that I've not managed this very well. So, Councilmember Cano, which item would you like to discuss?
Item number 1 as
Okay,
a whole.
thank you.
So I just wanted to say that in talking to other colleagues about this effort, there has been a question about, are we moving racial equity issues forward, or are we putting them on hold until this plan is together? And so I just wanted to encourage everyone to keep doing their work with that spirit in mind. I think a lot of us are continuing to do that work. It's not that racial equity initiatives aren't happening under each council member's purview of their ward or their workload. This is just a different way to look at a systems-wide organizational culture change, and really figuring out the outcomes that we want to achieve as a city government. And it's not meant to replace or to pause any individual council member's work in this particular area.
Thank you for that. And any further comment? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll on all 3 items.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Quincy.
Aye.
Warsame.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Fry.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Glidden.
Thank you. Next, we have Transportation and Public Works with that committee's chair, Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Transportation Public Works Committee is forwarding 11 items for approval. Item 1 regards establishing a special service district at 54th and Lyndale. Item 2 is also to establish a special service district, in this case West Broadway. Item 3 is the Edgewater Area Cedar Street Resurfacing Project. Item 4 is the 2014 Graffiti Prevention Micro Grant Program. Item 5 is an RFP for processing services. Item 6 are 2 roadway construction projects associated with a larger bridge removal and reestablishment project. The following items are referred reports to Ways and Means Committee. Item 7 are special assessment appeal settlement and the details therein. Item 8 is the Southwest Minneapolis Interceptor Rehabilitation Projects. Item 9 is the 4th Street 35W on-ramp auxiliary lane project, and it's to amend that project for additional funds that were needed to complete it. And item 10 is the sidewalk reconstruction special assessment cancellation. And 11 are to accept low bids from Thomas & Sons Construction, a low bid from Chemstone Products, and accept a low bid from Karis Corporation to all provide materials and services for our road repair. We'll stand for questions and forward these for approval.
All right, Councilmember Reich has moved all 11 items. Would anybody like to pull anything off? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Quincy.
Aye.
Warsame.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Fry.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Glidden.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
Excuse me. Next, we have the Ways and Means Committee. With that committee's chair, Councilmember Quincy.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Ways and Means Committee will bring forward 5 items today. First is a bid for the production color printer rental, accepting a low bid from Canon Solutions America, Inc. Second item is the donation of digital billboard display time from Clear Channel Outdoor. Third item is the donation of public service announcements from Comcast Cable for providing public service announcements. The fourth item is the bid for restroom, locker room renovation at the Minneapolis Convention Center. And the final item is continued contract with Sierra Systems Group, Inc. for services associated with the Compass Financial System upgrade. Happy to move all 5 items.
Councilmember Quincy has moved all 5 items of the Ways and Means agenda. Anyone want to take anything off? Anyone want discussion on any item? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Quincy.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Fry.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Glidden.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
Next, we have the Zoning and Planning Committee with that committee's chair, Councilmember Bender.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. We have just one item today from Zoning and Planning. It's the Essex Hotel at the intersection of Essex Avenue Southeast and Huron Boulevard Southeast. This is passage of an ordinance approving a petition filed by Scott Nelson of DJR Architecture to rezone the properties from R5 to C3A to allow for the construction of a hotel, and I will move that item.
Thank you. Councilmember Bender has moved the one item on the agenda for zoning and planning. Any discussion on that item? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Gordon.
Aye.
Kano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Bender.
Aye.
Yang.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Quincy.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Fry.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Glidden.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes.
Next, we have resolutions, and the first is an honorary resolution declaring the week of May 12 through 16 as Public Service Recognition Week in the city of Minneapolis. And I think, do we take a roll call on just voice vote on the resolution? So I'll move approval of that item. Discussion. Seeing none, on approval, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? That item is approved. Next, we have passage of a resolution amending Resolution 2014R 046 relating to a clean zone around Target Field during the 2014 Major League Baseball All-Star Game and related events. This item is authored by Councilmember Quincy. And I didn't know if you had comments on that.
I'd be happy to make some comments. Thank you, Madam Vice President. I think there was some confusion over the city's intent of passing the original resolution establishing the clean zone. So what the amendments to this resolution help clarify and restate our position. Many of these amendments are being made to the original resolution to make clear what the city's intent was already. So specifically, I wanted to speak to a few of the items. The resolution only applies to temporary licenses and permits for commercial vending and marketing types of activities. This is really intended to make sure we're protecting our own local small businesses and businesses that are operating in the area already. So these are only to temporary licenses and permits. The city, of course, will retain its full and final authority in determining whether to issue temporary license and permits. The original resolution seemed to indicate that Major League Baseball had a role in that. I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that this amendment said Major League Baseball would be conferred with, but the city retains those authorities. And the city, of course, will make sure that when considering applications for applicable laws, ordinances, and regulations will be followed with the protection of constitutional rights being preeminent. This means, of course, that nothing we're doing in resolution or an ordinance will be changing the First Amendment. And finally, the plans now finalized for the All-Star Week, it's clear that the time frame can be shortened from the original proposal of 16 days down to, I believe, 6 days. So I wanted to highlight those changes and hope that makes some clarification around the position.
Thank you, Councilmember Quincy, and I'll also take that as a motion so that this item is before us. Councilmember, and we're taking further discussion on this item. And Councilmember Gordon.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice President. And I just wanted to express my gratitude and appreciation to Councilmember Quincy for bringing this forward. I know that when it came up before, we heard a lot of questions from people, and we tried then to express that our intent. And I think the lack of clarity in the language maybe continue to raise concerns and raise issues. So I think it's very important that we do this. I also want to especially thank the city attorney for focusing in and helping develop the language for this and make sure that it's really clear and really helpful. And I'm enthusiastically supporting this new revamped version of the resolution. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I am not seeing further discussion. And so again, this is a voice vote unless there is a request otherwise, and I'm not seeing one. So all in approval, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, and that item is approved. Next, we have motions, and the first is a motion by Councilmember Quincy that regular payrolls of city employees under council jurisdiction for the month of June 2014 be approved and ordered paid. On approval, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, that item is approved. Next, we have designation of interim assistant city clerk. This is a motion by I think myself, to confirm the city clerk's designation of Anissa Hollingshead as interim assistant city clerk. Don't see any discussion. All in approval, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, and that item is approved. Next, we have new business. And I believe for these notices of intent, these are just notifications, so we do not need to vote on them. And the first is a notice of intent by Councilmember Andrew Johnson to give notice of intent to introduce at the next regular meeting of the City Council the subject matter of an ordinance amending Title 10, Chapter 192 of the Minneapolis Code of Ordinances relating to food code, bread, repealing Chapter 192. Next, we have a notice of intent by Andrew Johnson to introduce at the next regular meeting of the City Council the subject matter of an ordinance amending Title 10, Chapter 196 of the Minneapolis Code of Ordinances relating to food code, water for drinking and domestic purposes, repealing Chapter 196. Item number 3 is another notice of intent by Councilmember Andrew Johnson and Councilmember Reich to, and I wasn't sure you could do that, to introduce at the next regular meeting of the City Council the subject matter of an ordinance amending Title 18, Chapter 478 of the Minneapolis Code of Ordinances relating to traffic code, parking, stopping and standing, repealing Section 478.90, parentheses, small n, regarding parking restrictions adjacent to school property. And I know that Councilmember Andrew Johnson wanted to make some comment on these introductions, and I'll recognize him now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to spend just a moment mentioning this intent for repealing Chapter 192 and 196, both for my colleagues and for the public and the media here. I know that our friend Mr. Roper had covered last summer the bread code specifically under our food code, and that there are a lot of burdensome regulations on businesses in there that are actually superseded by state and federal law. And so in the case of these two chapters, I've worked closely with our health department, with our legal department, and in the case of the water code with Public Works, and they are supportive and do not have any concerns because these ordinances are frankly antiquated. In the case, for instance, of the water standards that were added to our city ordinances, those were actually rendered irrelevant 40 years ago by the Safe Water Drinking Act, or Safe Drinking Water Act passed by Congress, which actually mandates the EPA set those specific standards for water, and that states are allowed to set higher standards, but that municipalities cannot. So this is an effort to clean up our ordinances, and I just wanted to make my colleagues aware of the intent behind these. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, and last item on new business is a proposed charter amendment for filing fee for municipal elections. And this is a recommended ordinance from the Charter Commission amending Chapter 2, Section 13 of the Minneapolis City Charter relating to officers' elections, filing for election, specifying the filing fee for candidates for election at any city election for referral to the Intergovernmental Relations Committee. Next, we have announcements, and so I will ask if any of my colleagues have announcements that they would like to make at this time. Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Just wanted to announce that this will be the 19th year for Northeast Minneapolis Art District's Art Whirl event, the country's largest open studio event, and it starts 5 o'clock Friday to 5 o'clock Sunday. You can go to the NEMA, Northeast Minneapolis Artists Association website for details. studio guides, etc.
Thank you. Councilmember Quincy.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. It's a simple announcement that I think everybody has noted in their calendars, but I wanted to wish all the mothers in our community and around the world a happy Mother's Day as we celebrate that this weekend. I know personally I missed the opportunity to wish my own mother, who passed away 11 years ago, Mother's Day, so I hope all the kids out there can cherish the opportunity while it's available. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Seeing no further announcements, I believe that we have concluded with our business today, and so I'll take a motion to adjourn. Second. All right, we have a motion before us to adjourn. All in approval, please say aye. Aye. All right, thank you very much.